Mm. So I come to you tonight with a question. As I see in the news, all these different things about Elon Musk and resources being depleted on the planet, and just the exploration of new life, you know, new resources out there. I thought about this question for quite a while. I have my own answer to it as well. I wonder, would people actually live on Mars? Would you live on Mars? Would you live on the red planet? I mean, there's all those things out there about it, the details and stuff like that. You can Google it for yourself, find out. What's going on, Texas Little Star 63 Monster? I appreciate you for coming through. And I ask you the question, Texas Little Star, since you're the first person to say hello, would you live on Mars? Would you take the trek, the journey? Honestly, think about it. Let's say the Earth was on its last leg. She quickly said no. What if you were given $1 million? You know, what if they said, hey, you and your whole family, everybody you love, could go to Mars? Would you go? No. That's funny. That's funny. I talked to a woman about this the other day, and she was saying to me, she was said that no, she wouldn't go at first. But then I said to her, I said, look, let's say the whole planet was going up there, and everybody just, left and colonized. Yeah, you got to fight fire with fire. Texas Little Star. But I asked the lady, and she said she wouldn't go at first to Mars. This is a real conversation I had. And then I said, what if your family's going? What if everybody's going? And they'll leave you here. Because she said, no, I want to die on Earth. And then what happened was, she was like, oh, if everybody else is going to Mars, then I'll go to Mars too. Yeah, so it's like, would you not go? Some people say no. Some people are stringent. Some people are really like strict and, oh, I'm here. I'm on Earth. I'm from my country of origin. I'm from, this continent or from that country or from that province. But what would you really do if the planet was coming apart at the seams? Would you die on planet Earth or would you go to Mars? Would you take a chance? Would you just fly off to space and say, hey, this is what I want to do, and for the sake of humanity, would you try to save the human race? Would you put yourself out there? You know, there's God has put His plan for us here. There's no fighting what God has planned for us. I understand that, Texas Little Star Monster, but the reality is that there's exploration, to Mars. Elon Musk is driving with SpaceX the exploration to Mars, and you know he would move to Brooklyn. Road King says, "Oh, again, happy birthday to you, Road King." You would move to Brooklyn. Yeah, yeah. Brooklyn is a planet all its own. Shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to Jersey. Jersey is a planet all its own too. But think about it. What about you, Road King? Would you move to Mars? Would you relocate? Would you take your family? I mean, it's something seriously to consider. Let's say the world was just going all to hell. Everything was breaking loose, and the polar ice caps melted all the way, and the ozone had a wide open canal. What would you do? All right, so what would I do? Somebody's asking the question back to me. Would I move to Mars? Personally, no. You know, personally, I wouldn't move to Mars. Pro King said I would die. So we have two people in the chat that said that they wouldn't do it. Red lights. Yeah, yeah. The red lights signifying the red planet amusement. That's kind of what I made the connection. Got Mars, got the red planet. Got a red light. You know, that's the whole Mars thing. If God wanted us to be there, we have to put it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with you, Texas Little Star. But there's some people that's saying, hey, there's new life and new civilization up there on Mars. So that's something that people are not gonna stop doing. I mean, regardless of what any of us think in the chat, there's people that are still gonna explore and go to Mars, like Matt Damon, the Martian. You out there, in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I would be scared as heck trying to be out there on Mars and whatnot. They would have to kidnap me and bring me out to Mars and put me on a planet. I don't know. Like I say, I really don't know. I would be terrified. I would be terrified out of my mind. Just imagine being on a planet where you don't know anything, and it's probably not even inhabitable by human beings. And what if they built like a atmosphere and a space station on Mars? Yeah, it sounds really expensive, but who knows how they would build it? I don't know if they would use slave labor and pew pew. And then there was drone worship. Drone worship. Let me ask you, drone worship. Would you consider moving to Mars? Would you live on Mars? Yeah, amusement. I'm thinking of Total Recall. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not interested in Mars either. I mean, unless they got women out there with three. But anyway, I'm gonna I'm gonna leave that alone. I gotta leave that alone. I'm gonna keep this PG rated. Absolutely without a second thought. Oh, you would live on Mars. So we have three people against going to Mars, and we have one for drone worship. Woo! Drone worship would live on Mars. Well, drone worship, it's been nice knowing you. You know, I'll see you around if you're going to Mars. I guess I'm gonna die on Earth. Let my ashes be spread along the solar system. I mean, it is what it is. I just don't trust it. I mean, me personally, I'll tell you my personal opinion about it is we have enough problems on this planet as it is, with politics, with religion, with sexuality, with inequality, with racism, with classism. I mean, you have dreamed of going to space as a little kid, your favorite was Star Wars. And no, I'm not saying I wouldn't travel there, but I'm talking about would you live there? Traveling is one thing. I mean, if they could beam me to Mars right quick, I look around and say, whoa, that's what it is. It looks nice. And then you beam me back to Earth. Hey, maybe I'll go for that. But to live on Mars, that's what I'm talking about, drone worship. Would you relocate to Mars? Let's say the Earth is falling apart. The same as some extinction level event stuff. Would you just pack up and move? Would you go? If you could leave tomorrow, all expenses paid, would you go to Mars? Would you go up there and live? I'd have to sue someone there to send me a group of females. And wow. Oh, so you would go with a group of females to spend the rest of your days there. Like I said, those better be some very attractive females, man. They better make me feel out of space. I'm going up there to Mars with some females or something, drone worship. They better make me feel like a new man. I better feel like I'm 100 feet tall. I can leap tall buildings in a single bound. I'm faster than a locomotive. I better be like Silver Surfer out there. Something. I better be like Galactus or something with these females. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not saying I don't care about humanity. I'm just saying that we have too many issues that we haven't figured out here on this planet. So it's like, what will we do on Mars? I'm not close to meeting another life form. Yeah, well, true. Some people say you meet different life forms when you come to Brooklyn, but that's another story. I see different life forms when I'm in the subways in New York. Oh my God! But for the most part, yeah, there's new life and civilization out there. That's a whole other thing. Do you believe in aliens and extraterrestrials and that of the third kind? That's a whole other conversation right there. Mm. Let's say you get to Mars and then you meet some strange new life form or whatever. Some pretty red girl, some pretty red man. Just looking all beautiful and looking all ready for it. I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I mean, you had to be goofy if you didn't believe there's. Yeah. I believe there's life out there. Some form, some shape, something. All types of beings or something like that. I mean, but you don't have to be a fool because some people don't believe that there are any lives out there. Some people think that we're the only ones in the universe that exists. But the way that the world is designed and the solar system is put together, something else is out there. Don't know what. You're convinced that the Earth is flat. Okay, I'm ending the live stream now. Oh my God. As far as the Earth being flat, I know of a person who would love for me to to tackle that issue, and maybe I will tackle that issue one of these days about the Earth being flat. I can't believe we're still having that conversation in 2018, but to each his own. As far as the Earth being flat, for the sake of this live stream, you would love to go a few rounds. Listen, drone worship, we could even do this on your channel, man. I would love to debate you on whether or not the Earth is round or flat. That would be an epic event. A multi-channel event. Mel versus drone worship. Pew pew. Who will win? That, but that's cool. I mean, I would win. I would win. I mean, I don't want to do that to you, drone. But I mean, if you must, like I said, I don't want to spank you up real quick. I mean, just like I said, I don't want to take your drone out the sky. So it's all good. But it's all good, man. It's all good. Texas little star. So I take it that you must believe that the Earth. Do you believe that the Earth is round or flat, Texas little star? Let me know. Okay, you choose it round or flat. You actually take flat. Well, I guess you would debate whether or not things for why the Earth is flat, and then I would say round, because see, I have Texas little star on my side, who believes that the Earth is round. She's one of the wise ones. And yes, we have Llama Monster, who's another person that believes that the Earth is round. But Llama, we just talking about whether or not she would, move to Mars. I will debug everything you throw at me. Well, listen. I mean, drone, I like you, man, but you probably got a lot of trick knowledge about whether or not the Earth is flat and whatnot. Because I've heard different theories about, how, even if it's in a circular motion, it's a round circle, but the circle is flat. So I know you would hit me with some of the things like that. And then I know you would probably, try to come at me with different scientific, moods and things. And then I got to do my little research so I could just hit you with the verbal judo and whatnot. There's one that I cannot give past. Which one is that, drone worship? What is the one thing that I cannot give past about the Earth being flat? Please enlighten me in this chat. I need to know. I need it. Like the fire needs the air. I won't burn unless you're there. Tell me. Not enough room in the comment section. I'll keep getting red lines. Okay, cool. I mean, but if you're brave enough, to hit me off in little segments, then maybe I could debunk it for you, or hit you with the karate chop, or hit you with the pew pew pew, and then that's over with. But for the sake of this conversation, like I said, we'll stick with Mars. Okay, think about the world spins, how many axes there are. Okay, I'm thinking about the axes. And what about it? What about the axis? The world spins on an axis. So it can go this way, that way. What do you mean? I mean, the world spins on an axis. I don't know what the heck I'm saying. But like I said, this would be an interesting discussion to have. Like I said, I don't think there would be a winner or a loser, in this whole thing. So if the Earth only spins in one current direction, that would mean that the top being the North and the South Pole would have a different gravity to affect the middle of the Earth. I don't understand what you're getting at. So if the Earth only spins in one current direction, that would mean the top being the North and the South Pole would have a different gravity and would affect the middle of the Earth. No, actually it wouldn't. It wouldn't affect the middle of the Earth, because as it spins, if it's spinning so fast, whatever's in the center is already stabilized, because you're talking about the outside of it, and if it's moving at a certain speed. So let's say you were flying an airplane on top of the Earth into the bottom, will few accurately recede to the bottom. The tank instead of the top will reach the South Pole. Nah, I could see where you're trying to go with that, but if you're moving so fast, yeah, even with one axis, okay, still you can have something moving on one axis, but something could move so fast. This has been scientifically proven that whatever's in the center of it, or was centered inside of it, especially if you have a different atmosphere with gravity, that would change a lot of different things. Now, if you didn't have an atmosphere and things are flying into the atmosphere, and it moved at different varying speeds at different times to not balance the world and keep things on its axis, then that would be a different scenario. I mean, we're talking about the world spinning around as opposed to whether or not it's flat or round. I think that's a different conversation. I don't think that's the same conversation. I think that's, I mean, no offense, drone worship. I think that's probably semantics right there because, how would that debunk whether or not the Earth is actually round or not? That's a proposal. It's interesting to talk about. I appreciate that. I've got the perfect test if you're up for it. Not gravity, rather magnetism. You could say magnetism, but something is centering us and keeping us on the ground. So gravity is pulling down on us, but how is gravity pulling down on us? There's a force of motion, there's a speed, there's something that's causing us to have that particular gravity. So I take it as the rotation of the earth. People are not thinking about what the rotation of the earth does, and the speed at which it moves, keeping things weighed down because of that. So that's what it is. Greetings, Earthling. I see you, Tosh Time. So let me ask you, Tosh Time, let me ask you, Amusement, would you consider life on Mars? Is that something that you're interested in? Let's say, you know, for some reason, everybody was going to Earth, going from Earth to Mars, and they were handing out millions of dollars for people to recolonize to the planet, to the red planet of Mars, which is why I have the red life. Wait, well, no, not that I know of. We live in space stations and other places, but hey, why not? Would you go? Texas Little Star says no. Road King says no. Drone Worship says yes. Amusement hasn't given an answer yet. So would you, Tosh Time? Would you matter of fact, would you relocate the Tosh Time family to Mars? Would you beam us up? Say, okay, you're on Mars now. Yeah, what? Like all the way in Mars. You'd be like, oh, I want to go back to Earth. And you'd be like, keep pushing. Let me stop. Let me stop. mm. You're happy where you are. Wow. Okay. Well, some people want to go see extraterrestrial life and, go out there and explore different things. Going on eBay right now to purchase a weather balloon if you want to start a GoPro. Okay. Okay, you can do that. You can do that, drone worship. You can get your GoPro in your balloon, and get your strap and try to prove that the earth is flat. Listen, whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready. Yeah. All the best to Granny Monster as well. Hopefully everything is good with her. Oh yeah, I forgot to ask you, Llama Monster, would you go to Mars as well? Would you live on Mars as well? Because this is an interesting conversation, I believe. That's actually true. Gravity is a form of magnetic pressure. Yeah, that's one of the things that could be centering us down. But, excuse me. I guess gravity is one thing. Gravity pulling us down and centering us within the planet is different from that of which if the planet is actually round. Why you're posing the question is the question. Wait up. Why you posing the question is the bigger question. Okay. Why am I posing the question, Tosh Tom? Well, because people seem to be interested in it. yeah, the Total Recall joke, that's funny. Why am I posing the question, Tosh Tom? Other than having to watch time. The reason I'm posing the question is because I see stuff in the news. This is something I was just curious about. I'm wondering, would people relocate? Would people actually move civilizations in their life and uproot themselves to another planet? Because it's an issue that comes and it goes. All right, Texas Little Star. It's an issue that just comes up from time to time. It's something that like I said, I'm just curious about it. It interests me. I'm interested in space and the exploration and different life and the money that we spend on trying to move to explore different worlds and different planets, as opposed to how much time and energy and effort that we put on actually living on this planet. So it's a parallel to it that exists. It's to say, okay, we'll spend billions of dollars, privately, publicly, or whatever, to try to make it to this other planet, Mars. But what about what we're trying to do on Earth? Do we get along with each other here? What about life here? What about the resources here? What about the civilization here? What about us communicating with each other on planet Earth? And sometimes it can get lost. Sometimes people can get caught up in this whole exploration, to another world, to another galaxy, to another, existence when we haven't even figured out how to exist with each other, amongst each other on Earth. So those things interest me. It's just a point of curiosity. That's why I bring up these different questions. I try to do things in live streams that the regular individual is not doing. I'm not just a serious guy. I'm not just a, hey, let's just lift them up kind of guy. I mean, I do that as well, but I really do talk about different things. My next live stream, however, is going to be something, with Valentine's Day, whipped cream, strawberries, all that stuff. And that'll be soon. Love bombs from Mars. Yes, Harry Fessler. Thank you for coming all the way from Jersey. Now, let me ask you, Harry Fessler, would you actually consider living on Mars? Would you relocate everything? Would you take, Big H and the family, to Mars? Like I said, I mean, it's just an interesting conversation. This is just a point of curiosity. This is not meant in any way to really be a deep, profound, life altering, changing conversation. This is really just curious thought, Why not live once? Hey, so you're amongst the minority, so I guess you got two people from Mars and the rest are staying on planet Earth. Like I said, it's just an interesting conversation and whatnot. Like I said, I don't know, it's all good. Like I said, it's just one of those things I was just pondering and thinking about, you know. It's all good. I wonder how folks feel about, this planet. How do they feel about how we exist with each other and stuff like that? And do you think we would survive? I wonder how you folks feel in the chat. Do you think we would survive, as a people if we went to Mars, and would we get along better, or would some of the same issues exist on Mars? Those are some of the things that I ponder when I look at this and I ask the question and whatnot. I would visit a Peruvian lava farm. Oh my God, I don't know if they have Peruvian llama farms up there, but if there's Peruvians, then there's Peruvians. See, I wonder crazy stuff like if you go to Mars, like how would the land be divvied up? Would there be a Russia? Would there be an America? You know what I'm saying? Would there be an internet out there? What would you call it? I mean, would we make up a new language? What about governments? Would there be, a new world order? New world order for life. But that's another story. New world order. Yeah, Llama Monster is funny. So, like I said, these are just things that cross my mind. I mean, I'm a deep thinker. I'm a philosophical thinker. Stuff like that. Maybe I could get lost in my own head sometimes. But all for a good cause. Like I said, hopefully this is an interesting conversation. I think it's all good. You know, that's just where I'm at with it. Like I said, I mean, it's just something to ponder. This is something for folks when they watch back. They say, well, what is this guy talking about? Why is he talking about going to Mars? And what is the meaning of this? What is this foolishness this man is talking? Yeah. You would kill it with your chain of oxygen bars. Yeah, you would have to sell something out there. Oh my God. I wonder about some of the vices that people have. What would liquor be like out there on Mars? Think about that. What would a bar fight look like on Mars? And anybody ever think about that? You're in space. Oh no, flying out to space. Anyway, that's one of the things that would happen. I mean, would there be car chases in Mars? How would that look? Would it be Space Lee Sprockets or George Jetson type situation? I don't know. Would it be real futuristic? What's going on, Backwards Rays? My man, I see you. Thank you. And Backwards Rays, I'm going to ask you the question. Would you live on Mars? Would you go to the red planet? Would you relocate if, they were saying, hey, look, the Earth, this Earth thing, this planet Earth thing is going down, and we need to go straight up to the planet of Mars. Would you go? Hey, would you go to Pluto? But those are just some of the things I'm thinking about. And it was something on my mind. I kind of put it in the back. I put it in the backwoods, somewhere in the back, the recesses of my mind. So I'm pulling it out, and I'm coming back. I'm coming to the forefront with it, And thank you for the 2 people that gave me the thumbs up. Thank you for the 8 people watching. I definitely appreciate that. You can't tell, but I'm sweating in here. I ain't got the nerve to be drinking tea. Thank you for the 3 thumbs up. It's funny because I've always felt like Star Trek and Doctor Who all at the actual, but to go into space never really is something I considered. Oops, number 3. Thank you. I appreciate that, Harry. Well, I don't think I would go. I would stay back and see how it all ends. Yeah, I think I would see how it all ends. Who knows? There's a beauty in destruction sometimes, seeing it all go down. Think about it. You get to go anywhere you want. Like I said, who knows? Like I said, I'll see all the sights before they go. Maybe I get to see Atlantis or something. Number six, I appreciate that. Nah, you never know what you're gonna see. Who knows? Maybe I'll find the Loch Ness monster or something, or see if Bigfoot is real. Who knows? You know, imagine an empty planet or something like that being left behind. While everybody's going to Mars, and then you were number five. Thank you, Texas. Centrifugal force. Interesting. I don't know what that has to do with this, but it's all good. You know, for the most part, this is just a is this a random conversation? It's a random conversation, but it's just a philosophical conversation. These are some of the things that people think about. These are some of the things that people want to do. I think Tosh Time, to really go with it, it has something to do with a longing to start over, a reset for humanity, you know, a yearning to see if civilization can do it all over again, an experiment in utopia, if to see if that's something that people can do. And it's a challenge. I think thinking about Mars and space exploration, it really reminds us of the issues and the things and the beauty of things that can be here on Earth. We do have this one planet. We do have this one humanity. We do have a chance to do a lot of things right here on this planet with the resources that we have. It is what it is. Why are we counting numbers? Then the numbers are actually the thumbs up. I'm thanking people for the thumbs up. 84.6. If I got 84.6 thumbs up, that would be amazing. I don't know, but it's all good. I could resist. Well, I could reset. Wow, if Lenny Kravitz, so all we needed to do was get you Lenny Kravitz and you going to Mars. That's interesting. I didn't know. I want to get away. I want to get away and fly. Anyway, you can't get away though. It's slow llama. It's all good. But I would not lose the government until it's about not 50 years. Well, I don't know. Thank you, Tosh Tom. I definitely appreciate it. Well, I mean, I don't know. 50 years from now, who knows what's going to happen? I know one thing about this environment and the way we're going now. If we don't change something, we're going to have to start reconsidering, some type of relocation as far as planet and civilization and humanity. But I do like Earth. I appreciate Earth. I love Mother Earth, the planet. I love, seeing the wind flow through my hair and the rain come down across my brow. All that stuff. If Matt Damon couldn't survive on Mars, how am I gonna fare? Well, hey, listen, amusement, you may be the one that survives. You could be Will Smith merged with Matt Damon. I Am Legend / Martian. Yeah, that's the name of the movie, The Martian. You could be the Martian / I Am Legend. I don't know. I Am Martian. Whatever. Like I said. And think about that. Now we could not be called Earthlings anymore. Would you want to be called a Martian? Greetings, Martians. Then would you be red Martians and black Martians? I think it would be cool to be considered a Martian. Yeah, what? Hey, you never know. Who would be the leader of the new Martians? And what if we got there and found out that there were Martians that were secretly there? What if there was like a Martian Earth war? You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of weird like that. You never know. You could have some life form sprout up. But we had the mad botany skills. Yeah. Who knows? I mean, like I said, you could you could survive out there if you're good with the botany skills are real. Hashtag make it trend botany skills. My botany skills are horrible. You know what my botany skills are? Going to the produce section in the supermarket. Oh my God, that's my botany right there. I got some botany for you. Nah, but it's good to learn how to survival skills in the deep recesses of space. Maybe if they give me a spaceship to go back and forth, and that's something else too. Like, how would you license somebody to ride a spaceship? Would you get a ticket for drunk driving a spaceship? Just driving a spaceship. President Fessler, first Mars. That's right. Hey, listen, anything is possible if we go to Mars and whatnot. Like I said, there'll probably be a fight to see who's going to be like supreme leader in chief of space. Like I said, greetings, Martians. I am your leader. No, you're not. It's all good. I don't know. These are just thoughts that pass through the mind, stuff that I wondered. I got a lot of crazy thoughts. I mean, if you keep watching my live streams, you'll see. And around the 12 o'clock hour, I will have another live streams, and it will be a lot different from this one. Yeah, it should be oranges, whipped cream, and strawberries. Oh my. But I will talk to you later. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Thank you for entertaining. Greetings, Martians. Laters.